reigning heavyweight national champion and Big Ten champion, the four-time All-American from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, Greg Kirkfleet. He has won 29 straight, and Max Venadia, a redshirt freshman out of Brecksville, Ohio, toes the opposite line for Sparty and Michigan State. Of course, when you think about heavyweight, Greg Kirkfleet, one of the best in the last decade, but Gable Steveson is back. This is a phenomenal weight class.
It's just packed weight class here. You've got two returning national champions and, of course, a returning Olympic champion in this weight. And Kirkfleet jumps out front with 15 seconds here, snapping down. Comes around one more time. It's already 6-1.
20 seconds in, Kirkfleet with a pair of takedowns. Beat Lucas Davison of Michigan 13-4 in that national final in Kansas City.
Yeah, this is really tough duty for a lot of these Michigan State Spartans here. Going against the best guys in the country. Kirkfleet obviously getting a couple of takedowns underneath his belt here. Really good with the cradle, and this is going to be trouble for Venadia.
Greg Kirkfleet gets the slap of the Resolites. Now 10-0, his fifth first period fall of the season. Freshman, he has been phenomenal. 9-0, 4 tech falls. 4 of 8 matches wrestled by the young Nittany Lion. He has scored at least 19 points. Nick Corday, a redshirt sophomore, comes in with an 0-2 record. And this Luke Lillidahl, you talk about a spark plug at 125.
Yeah, you know, the Lions, for years had a difficult time, filling this weight class here. But you take a look at this guy, Lillidahl here, how quick he is.
Nothing yet, nothing yet. Danger, 1, nothing. Danger, 1. Nope.
Shane Sparks, Jim Gibbons. Want to welcome those of you that just watched Maryland defeats Michigan inside Chrysler. And Greg Kirkfleet has put Penn State up quickly, a first period fall, as Penn State leads it 6-0 on the team scoreboard. This is Luke Lillidahl, lightning Luke Lillidahl.
Boy, he is quick, Shane. It's really difficult for these 25-pounders to be able to score on each other. You actually see more scoring, it seems, in the heavyweight bouts nowadays than you see at the 25-pound weight class because of just their motion and movement and all that. But Lillidahl got another layer of speed here to him, right? Just drives through on that underhook here, grabs the far knee, collects the first takedown of the match.
3-0 score. Luke Lillidahl, a 4-time world finalist. 2-time world champion, 2024 U20 World Team Trials champion. He was named the OW. Also a 2-time Pan Am champion.
Center,
and he's got some phenomenal ankle picks. Darts in with leg attacks. Came from Wyoming Seminary, won the Super 32, won the Ironman a couple of times, Powerade. Great schedule there, of course, at Wyoming Seminary up in Kingston, Pennsylvania. Part of that team last year that had, I believe it was 10 prep national champions under head coach Cornell Robinson. Another leg attack and a nice adjustment there.
3 takedown.
He's working on the wrist on the right side. He switched off to working on the wrist at the left side. He grabs that wrist with his thumb up and then he rolls his hand down here. When you see that type of action here, he's looking to attack the leg, usually below the knee.
Lillidahl leading at 6-1. 40 seconds left in this first period. Riding time already 45 seconds. Lillidahl, Missouri native, won a state title at Christian Brothers College High School before heading to Wyoming Seminary, where he captured a pair of prep national titles. Keeping the weight on the hands of Corday the Spartan.
Yeah,
He's out of Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Nice job here with it. Matt returned off that quad pod stand up here. Basically doing a nice job of breaking him down when the opponent gets his butt up in the air, hands and feet.
Final seconds here in this first period. And Lillidahl with a pair of takedowns. Riding time nearing a minute and a half. The Nittany Lion in command of the second period.
Let's take a look at the second takedown here. See how he rolls the wrist down right there? He gets in that position. He's got total control of it. Lets go of it here. Gets right in on that near leg. Steps across and drives. Really does a nice job of keeping his hands clean.
Green on top.
Look at this stance from the bottom position. We'll see what he does here. Explodes back up.
No. Caution.
Jim, how about the Maryland Terrapins? Congratulations to Alex Clemson and the Terps.
Big win.
They go to Ann Arbor and knock off Michigan. That's the biggest win Maryland's had since coming into the Big Ten.
You know, it's taken a while here for Coach Clemson to kind of get it going, but, you know, you talk to a lot of people and they're believers in what he's got going. He's not afraid of an argument, not afraid to go ahead and, you know, just get after it, let other coaches know that, you know, he's out there for real. And, you know, it's nice to see when a guy really believes in his team and
you got to let him get in, okay?
You know, trying to promote it, doing everything he can to go ahead and get those incremental wins. And this was a big win tonight here for Alex Clemson and the Terps.
First top 10 victory for Maryland since 2007. Hats off.
1, 2,
of course, then they were in the ACC.
3, 4, 5. 1.
So another point there to Lillidahl, now 7-1.
Set. On top.
Now look at this down position that intrigues me here. He's going to jam that elbow back in. He's looking for the fight hands right there. Turns back into it and gets into a shot right there. You know, one of the things that you look for when you're seeing a freshman out there on the mat says, hey, can he get out from underneath position here? And Lillidahl looks pretty great at doing that. And he's put Corday in a situation where he's going to get called again.
Situation there, Jim, that's where you got to cut him. Correct.
Yeah, correct.
So another stall point now, 8-1.
Set.
Of course, this weight class has Matt Ramos, a national finalist 2 years ago for Tony Ersland and the Boilermakers. Ramos, he has been on a tear this season, picked up another tech fall tonight. Quick escape there by Lillidahl. And one thing we know with Penn State, Jim, high attack rates.
Yeah, they're switching to the other side there off the ankle pick. Saw that second shot that he made where he got the takedown, and now you go ahead and attack the other side of the body. Another thing we're looking for, you know. So far, Lillidahl, you know, has the moxie and the technical skills to be able to go far.
45 seconds, second period. Jim, coming into this dual meet, Penn State in dual meets, 134 takedowns. They've only allowed 10. After that pin by Greg Kerkvliet in dual meets, they've outscored their opponents 274-9. Jim, am I in the twilight zone? I mean, this is incredible.
Well, you are, but you know, you're right. Good job right there on that shot, attacking low level there. Corday trying to do something big. You can't blame him for trying to do that. He's in danger of giving up a tech fall right now. Lillidahl working wrist, but you know, I was really impressed right there with his ability to get out from underneath there pretty quick, put a lot of pressure on Corday there.
As he did in the first, finishes the period on top, 15-2. Of course, it starts at the top with Cale Sanderson. Penn State has won 11 of the last 13 NCAA championships. They have won 62 straight dual meets. There on the right of your screen, first-year assistant coach Nick Lee, two-time national champion for Penn State.
Certainly a guy that knows the system here at Penn State. Of course, in the middle there, don't get a good look at him there, is Cody Sanderson, longtime associate head coach.
You had Jimmy Kennedy, who followed David Taylor to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get
action.
It's okay for change to occur. You give other guys the chance to come up and be in the ranks of your coaching staff, and particularly a guy like Nick Lee, who met. I mean, let's face it, Cale Sanderson had a lot of choices. He chose Nick Lee, and obviously wanted to get somebody fairly close to that weight class, and hear nothing but great things. The Bo Bartlett interview that he did with talking about, you know, Nick Lee getting his hands on him as a coach now, not just a competitor in the wrestling room, has meant a lot to him.
Yeah, I got it.
Working on a bow and arrow is Luke Lillidahl.
Improve. 1,
In
2,
tech fall
3,
territory.
4.
It will be a tech fall or a fall for Luke Lillidahl.
4, all set.
Tech fall for Luke Lillidahl, now 10-0 on the season. The true freshman with his 5th tech fall of the season. Lighten up the scoreboard. Luke Lillidahl, bonus points at 125. Penn State and Michigan here inside Rec Hall, presented by Cliff King Athletic. Wrestle with the best as we turn to 133 pounds. Braden Davis, the Big Ten champion last year at 125, up to 133, 5-1 starts. And Andy Hampton, a redshirt junior from Rochester, Michigan, for the Spartans.
Braden Davis right in on the shot right away. Shelves that leg real quickly and then just basically crawls up. He's got the arm around the waist right now. No, I'd like to go a little bit lower here, but just swings him down here.
Takedown.
Nice finish right there. We're able to slide back a little bit, and all the pressure was forward, and now he's got a crossed arm tilt right there, and he's going to go all the way through.
1, 2, 3.
Going to be some near fall here
4.
for Braden Davis.
Boy, he really went
4
into
near
that
fall.
quick.
We saw it with Kirkfleet, Lillidahl, and now Braden Davis, Jim. They are scoring in the first 15 seconds.
Well, right after they
Still
get
alive,
takedowns,
gentlemen.
and that's one of the best times you can go ahead and get that cross wrist tilt, is that you collect it right away. Catch a guy fighting a single leg, trying to make a counter on the single leg, you catch a wrist and go right into it. Well done.
Davis from Belleville, Michigan. Dundee High School, was a 4-time individual state champ, part of 4 team titles. 22-4 last season. Beat Patrick McKee of Minnesota to claim the Big Ten title. Went to Kansas City as the #1 seed. Went 2-2 and fell short of the podium.
Yeah, he's a year older, Shane, but he doesn't look it.
Only lost this season to
One
Ryan
neutral.
Crookham. That was a 4-1 score. Crookham ranked #1 at the weight class from Lehigh.
3, takedown.
Battling some
You
injuries.
got control. You had control.
Is
Drop
Crookham.
down 1.
Hopefully he'll
2.
be back before long. Good start here for Penn State with Kirkfleet and Lillidahl getting a
red.
fall and a tech fall.
Still red.
11-0
Still
score.
red.
How about those graphics?
1, neutral.
Good way to catch up. And I think this year, moving up to 133 pounds here, for Davis, I think he's going to find it a little bit easier to get in on legs and see him diving in on the leg right there against Hampton. But I think, that's one of the things that he became very tough to score on, to get that big, wide, square stance. And
Drop down 1.
a lot of the 25-pounders had a difficult time, scoring on him. But I think when he moves up here at this weight class with his length and range, I think he can be able to get to, he'll have a lot of success and be in a lot of positions like this trying to score.
Like Davis, Hampton up from 125. He spent the first 2 years at that weight class. Now it's second at 133 for Hampton, who was a 2-time state runner-up at Stony Creek High School.
He slipped his head out there. Now he's in a little bit better position to be able to score.
Davis leading it 10-2.
3.
Tack on 3 more to make it 13-2. Riding time over a minute. Half a minute remaining here in this opening period. Highest ranked Big Ten wrestler here at 133, Lucas Bird of Illinois. You have Drake Ayel of Iowa ranked 4th. Davis ranked 5th. The Big Ten
1
4
neutral.
of the top 10 here at 133. 10-point lead for Davis in the final seconds of this first period. Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, a really tough position to be in here for Roger. I'm sure when he saw the television schedule, he wasn't necessarily enamored with the look, but that you know, he's got a team that's battling here to be able to go ahead and try to you know, be relevant in the conference and go out there and compete hard and going against potentially one of the best teams ever.
You'll feel what the best is like tonight against Penn State.
Watch those hands.
90 seconds left, second period.
Yeah, Davis.
Single leg drives through for another score.
Yeah. 12. Yep.
Working that cross, trying to work for that cross arm tilt now, coming up with a claw ride with that left arm. I like that technique right there. You see what he did right there? He came over to the other side and he kind of shucked him off with maybe double underhooks and just had the you know, the opponent's pushing, you know, trying to go that direction. And that's just another way you can get to one of your wrist rides here. That little motion right there, I like that action. You push one way and then you can get a guy off of his base real easily right there when he's, you know, leaning away from you, just moved him over. That's old school.
Angel Rivera, the official from North Carolina. Over 2 minutes of riding time for Davis. There's a quick breakdown off the whistle. One of your favorite moves there, Jim, up on the shoe tops, digging in that coffee grinder.
Yeah, great job with the head lever. Moves it right into a chicken wing right there.
Action.
I like those moves. Chicken wings, cement mixers, coffee grinders, high flyers.
Yeah. Cow catchers.
How boring. How boring, Jim.
Cow catchers.
19-5 for Braden Davis. 15 seconds to work with for the true sophomore Davis in this second period. Big night around the Big Ten on this Friday. In Champaign, Illinois and Ohio State. Mention Lucas Bird, ranked number 2 in the country, wrestling Nick Bouzakis. They are in sudden victory.
Wow.
Lucas Bird the takedown, 8-5 for the Fighting Illini. The two-time All-American Ohio native Lucas Bird. And that Illinois team, we saw them at the big takedown the weekend of the Big Ten football championship game. And Illinois, one of the most improved teams in the country.
Yeah, Mike Poeta doing a nice job there. Had those guys ready to go against Indiana. That was a fun environment to be in. They were actually in the Fan Fest that they had before the Big Ten football championships. There it is.
Another tech ball for Penn State. 20-5. Braden Davis picks up his second tech ball. This is true sophomore season as he improves to 6-1. 3 matches, 3 bonus point victories for top-ranked in his 5th year, undefeated, 9-0 record. And Jaden Crumpler, redshirt freshman, 4-7 record, 2-1 in duels for Michigan State. Crumpler up from 133 pounds from Niagara Falls, New York. State champion, Bo Bartlett.
Coming out music. KC and the Sunshine Band? Whoa. I tell you what, this guy, Bo Bartlett, has got one of the most gentle spirits.
Yes, he does.
In the sport. I watched the interview that he did, and you know, when you interview a wrestler before practice, right, a lot of times it's like, you know, this guy was smile, 15, you know, looking guys in the eye and all that. I go, well, this is just an unusual cat.
Bo Bartlett, one of my favorite images of the NCAA's last March in Kansas City. He lost a heartbreaker to Jesse Mendez. It looked like he was going to win. He got behind the Buckeye. Mendez somehow found a way to get it done, but Bartlett was on the stand with a big smile on his face. Talked about his Instagram. 178,000. And you know what I like about him too, Jim? He's got some style. He's got some swagger. He's just a cool guy.
Yeah, I was his age when that song was popular.
Bo Bartlett, 3-time NCAA qualifier. 6 bonus point victories this season. Do I hear Van Halen jump in the background? I think I do, Jim.
Yeah, they've added ambient music here.
Did you know Van Halen Jump turned 41 years old this week?
Wow. That's a lot of data, Shane.
Want to hear from you around the country? It is Friday Night Wrestling. Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Where are you at? What are you eating? What are the dogs doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you are watching wrestling tonight. Doubleheader again. Congratulations to Maryland. The Terrapins went to Ann Arbor and knocked off the Wolverines with criteria. Got a big fall from Jackson Smith at 184. Big win for Alex Clemson and Maryland. 16-0 here with top-ranked Penn State.
Center.
Shane Sparks alongside Jim Gibbons.
Green. Backing up. We're neutral.
Talked about Luke Lillidahl wrestling at Wyoming Seminary. That is where Bo Bartlett wrestled. Was a 4-time prep national champion. Originally from Tempe, Arizona. And this Jaden Crumpler,
he's doing okay.
Came to compete, exactly.
Yeah, so, you know, the funny thing is about it that
still no control, gentlemen.
Martin's probably going to switch off to a double here, but he can't get that arm across, and so now he's scooping the leg, but he's got to try to get that arm across or perhaps limp it up, you know, limp it across. But Crumpler staying pretty tight there. But one of the adjustments sometimes that you're making,
no control,
and you're, you know, just a heavily dominating wrestler, is that your setup works so well you get in almost too deep, and this is an example of that where, you know, Bartlett is getting in too deep in his shot and Crumpler's just basically burning a lot of clock right here. And you sit there and go, okay, well, that's not Crumpler's fault. He's doing what he can to not give up the takedown. So Bartlett needs a shallow, make a little more shallow shot right there and maybe switch to a double a little quicker. Or maybe the double's there when you think it's just, you know, wrestling all those tough guys in that Nittany Lion wrestling room, okay, you might only get a chance to get to one leg. Well, now in these competitions, you got to make an adjustment here. Maybe the caliber of guy you're not wrestling is so as good, and you make that shallow, take a shallower shot and switch to a double earlier.
Short time in this first period. No score with Bartlett and Crumpler. Saw Nick Lee on that coaching staff. Bartlett was behind Nick Lee. Spent his first 2 years at 149 because of it. 141 is natural weight class. We are scoreless after 3 minutes. The reigning national champion and the reigning Big Ten champion, Jesse Mendez. Looking for the fall on the edge of the mat. He pins Danny Pacino. 6 on the board for Ohio State. Buckeyes ranked 4th in the dual meet rankings. Illinois ranked 10th. Jesse Mendez.
Oh, boy. He's
so physical.
Boy, the matches, the technique that he hit in the national finals against Bo Bartlett here.
Magic.
Yeah, he was dead to rights, and those two guys are so athletic. And now you got Andrew Alirez from Northern Colorado back in that weight class. That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Alirez, the national champion out of Northern Colorado 2 years ago, beat Real Woods, who's now trading in Ann Arbor with the Cliff Keen Wrestling Club.
Green.
Mendez, Alirez, Bartlett, 1, 2, 3 in the rankings at 141.
Center.
Bartlett last season 24-2. 1 silver at both the Big Tens and the NCAAs. One of 6 Nittany Lions in the finals in Kansas City. They got 4 titles.
But Crumpler's made him work. Yep. There's that shot to the other side. Actually whipped for a double. Ends up with a single.
Bartlett has Crumpler up in the air. That waterfall position, Crumpler draped over. And a whistle is blown with 58 seconds.
Called that potentially dangerous. Didn't give him much time to score.
We began at heavyweights with Greg Kirkfleet getting a fall. Guys wrestling ear to ear, collar tie. Now he goes back to an underhook on the left side. Crumpler clears as they wrestle on that Penn State Nittany Lion logo, center of the Resolites.
You know, if you're coaching Crumpler, you know, he's done a lot of things to stay in this match, but, you know, hey, you know, Bartlett is looking so much for his offense, maybe you catch him stepping into your shot. So just a little bit of aggression on his part. He might be able to find himself in a better position, but that's what we're talking about there. Lower level shot, going after both legs.
And it comes in short time, inside of 20 seconds. Huge points for Bartlett. And after a scoreless first, a crooked 5 spot on the board, 5-0 to the third. Four-timer inside red ball. Aaron Brooks, United States Olympian as well.
Now, what a year he had, become a 4-time champion and take out David Taylor to make the Olympic team and then turn around and get yourself a medal.
Caution.
Him and Carter Starachi picking up their fourth individual titles.
We're going to go optional. Come on, get down.
Starachi, of course, looking to become the first Division I wrestler to win 5. Pat Smith, the first to do it for Oklahoma State.
One neutral.
Back in the mid-90s. Right back in with a leg attack. After giving up the escape.
Danger 1, 2.
You hear that count.
3.
That is the neutral danger.
Down.
You hear Angel Rivera identifying neutral danger, counting to 3.
Stalemate.
And it's a 3-point takedown to make it 8-1. Near fall is a 45-degree angle. The neutral danger, 90.
Don't move. On top, Red. Set.
Cale Sanderson and Penn State.
Neutral.
I think Bartlett saw something there that he liked there with that, working a little bit more from distance now, not working so much with that left-handed underhook. Keeping his hands down a little bit low. Again, Crumpler's, made the decision. He's not going to go ahead and take shots. These are the times to go ahead and do it. See if you can go ahead and get something going out there. What is your best shot? He waves at a little single leg right there, but if you commit to it, maybe you get it.
Halfway through this third period.
Green stalling.
A point for Bartlett.
Yeah, and that's just from there. Finally a shot there where he gets to the side and stops, shoelace is flat, and probably understand why, with probably not that aggressive there. Nice go behind there by Bartlett.
Working off a front headlock.
This is where you have to listen to the official here. You hear Angel Rivera saying that you're still in control there.
Here we go. I was thinking about bow and arrow. Anytime I see that move, I immediately go to Zane Rutherford in my mind. The most punishing top wrestler I've seen in the last 15 years here on the Big Ten Network. Bo Bartlett 10 seconds away from his 10th win. It's going to be another bonus point victory. His second major decision of the season, his 7th bonus point victory. Bo Bartlett here at 141, the number 3rd ranked 141-pounder in the country. Shane Van Ness 9-0, Clayton Jones 3-4. And Shane Van Ness, an All-American in 2023, he was 3rd. Hurt last November after only a few matches. And he's been spectacular, Jim. 9-0, 8 bonus point victories, 4 falls.
Yeah, he's been spectacular since the national tournament 2 years ago. Remember him vividly having some huge comeback wins in that national tournament, and comes back and gets third, all the way back to get 3rd.
He went to that tournament as a 12 seed as he scores 3 points inside of 10 seconds. Fell behind Ethan Miller of Maryland early, got the pin. He beat Panero Johnson of Iowa State. Another big comeback win over Graham Rooks. He fell to Yanni Yakamahalis. He was beating Yanni in that third period. And then he had to come back, Jim, and beat Caleb Henson and Kyle Parko. Yeah,
and unfortunately, he had suffered a knee injury, I believe it was, last year, and wasn't able to compete. But, we found out how good Tyler Kasak was, so he's going to be the 57-pounder now going forward here. So that, things happen for a reason, and it's all good for the Lions.
Shane Van Ness from Somerville, New Jersey, was a 2-time national prep champion at Blair Academy.
I'm just.
Won in the NWCA All-Star Classic 16-4 over West Virginia's Ty Waters. A lot of big injuries, Jim, so far. Ty Waters of West Virginia, he's out for the year. Jory Volk of Wyoming, out for the year. Rocky Elam of Missouri, out for the year. Young Aristides missed a lot of time for Iowa State. Mentioned Ryan Crookham earlier. He's battling injury. A lot of big hitters are out right now.
Yeah, highly rated guys that have basically called it in because they're, you know, and when anytime something like that happens where you
not too much.
Get an extra year, you start thinking, well, you know, is that person going to be in the transfer portal? You know, stranger things have happened, but, you know, one of the biggest jobs that a college coach has nowadays is retention.
In all sports.
Yep.
Van Ness with that hammer lock on Clayton Jones. Jones, redshirt freshman from Belleville, Michigan, was a two-time state champion at Detroit Catholic Central. Van Ness with a quick takedown, riding time nears 2 minutes. And some slick work there for a second takedown.
Nice slide by. Now it's a little bit better. See how easier it is to get a guy turned over in a pinning combination right after the takedown? Wow, that's tight.
Shane Van Ness looking to give Penn State its second fall of the dual meet. Van Ness joins Greg Kerkvliet. Shane Van Ness his fifth fall of the season and 6 more for Penn State.
You know, so many times it's difficult. You know, you start to break a guy down and wear him down, and you know, but right after a takedown, sometimes you get this 3-4 second opportunity to go ahead and lock.
Out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and Braden Stauffenberg, a redshirt sophomore from Yorkville, Illinois. Aurora Christian for Michigan State. And Tyler Kasak, of course, Jim, that unbelievable run. He was third at the Big Tens, and then he lost his first match at the NCAAs and won 7 straight to take third. Incredible.
You're done. You're done.
I've coached some guys that made some really nice runs like that in the national tournament, you know, and sometimes it's just like a situation or a takedown or just something spark ignites, and all of a sudden you've got a whole different wrestler than wrestled in the first round. And it's really fun to be a part of here, but
3 takedown.
Take a look at with that confidence that Kasek has now, moving up to 157. I don't know if you remember, but we did his first match
against Lehigh,
Breck Hall last year, and I never forget that the look that Cale had on his face, like, you know, it was so strange because you had a Penn State wrestler basically just trying to hold a lead and let go of several scoring opportunities, and the look kind of said it all. It wasn't a look of disgust or anything like that. It was look like, hey man, you can be so much better, you know, and he obviously became that guy.
He was 24-5 last season, the 7th seed at the national tournaments. Lost to Jaden Abbas, who's an All-American, really good wrestler in his own right from Stanford. That was 4-2. Then he won the 7 straight. Beat Jackson Arrington, majored Ridge Lovitz, beat Ty Waters.
Action.
And I love those guys, Jim. I mean, and you've done it. You experienced it. You find out what you're made of on that backside in those consolation matches to take third. That is grit, guts, and heart.
Yeah, that's why everybody should go to the, you know, has tickets, go to that Saturday afternoon round at the NCAA tournament. You know, a lot of guys aren't able to finish their careers out, but, you know, the wrestling that happens right there, the total exhaustion that some of those guys give. Some guys have gone all the way and back to Thursday's consolation rounds and make it all the way to Saturday and become All-Americans. And, you know, it's a great round, but you're right. It's about being gritty.
Measured up that last takedown nicely.
And usually, Shane, that's where the NCAA championship team title is won, right? In those rounds right there. And so you've got to have guys that are ready and in condition for that third day of the tournament. You can make so much ground up here where the other guys, you know, first of all, having a healthy team, but certainly a team that's in shape that can wrestle that third day, because the tournament is so unique that, you know, a lot of these guys will wrestle a Friday, Sunday match this weekend. There might go to a tournament where it's a Friday, Saturday match, but you don't have the 3 days that you have with the NCAAs, the traveling on Monday and Tuesday and hair standing up on the back of your neck for a couple days before you get there. It's just a different feel, and it's very difficult to prepare for.
Kasak with that wrist, riding time over a minute, 3 takedowns in this first period. Kasak was a 3-time place winner and a state champ at Bethlehem Catholic. 2022 U17 World Silver, won that in Rome. Up and down this Penn State lineup, a lot of world medalists at the different age levels.
You know, and that's
neutral.
That's the one thing about this program. You say the world medals, the different age levels. Okay, this is a different sport. You know, I know the 3-point takedown has made it a little bit closer, a lot less mat wrestling. You know, you can win some big matches here, that takedown, and it's just a big spread between, you know, a takedown now and getting an escape or reversal or whatever. So to answer it.
2,
but
3.
What Penn State is not been able to do is not just the recruiting but they're selecting now. Okay, and that's a big difference between, you know, hey, come here with it, and they've got so much going for them right now that they are in selection mode.
And very deep.
Yeah.
Of course, but Alex Facundo, one of the guys at this weight class as well. 12-3 for Tyler Kasak. Friday Night Wrestling here on the Big Ten Network. Coach Mike Derone, he's the head coach at Lakeland College in Wisconsin. And one of the great wrestling minds I've ever met, did a phenomenal job with the Wisconsin Wrestling Federation years back. The stage is set. That looks like that's natural wood burning there, Jim.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love this, sitting back, taking in some wrestling.
Got your dog with you right now, don't you?
Absolutely. Phyllis made the trip. She'll be 5 next month.
Still green. Still green.
Kasak gets the reversal. I'll tell you who's tired tonight, Jim.
The guy running the scoreboard.
The scoreboard itself is exhausted. My guess is that scoreboard last night, Jim, was feeling the anxiety, knowing what it was in for tonight. Penn State to their offense quickly, inside of 15 seconds, leg attacks, finishes, great transitions. It's been all bonus points for Michigan State. They'll return to the Resolite on Sunday, getting a confident Maryland team. The Terrapins went into Ann Arbor and knocked off the Wolverines earlier tonight.
Boy, they've got to feel good about themselves. You know, they've been a team that's had a difficult time scoring points in the Big Ten tournament. Been in that bottom tier.
Hey, look at this. An assassin here for Tyler Kasak. And Tyler Kasak is Penn State's third fall. 6 more for the Nittany Lions. 32-0.
Take a look at the job he does right here. He comes right over the top, head and arm here, whips him back. Obviously, both shoulders are down. It's going to be a tough 157.
10-0, 8 tech falls. He has scored a ton of points in his 8 matches wrestled. Messenbrink, a national finalist, the Big Ten champion. And Jay Nivison, out of Davison, Michigan. Nivison in his 5th year. Spent 4 seasons at Buffalo. The last 3 up at 174. Not having a bad season. 7-6, Nivison. Cleveland State Open runner-up. But he has one mighty tall task tonight in Mitchell Messenbrink, who's become a fan favorite across the country.
Yeah, he's definitely, you know, we haven't mentioned him hardly so far in this broadcast because he's on a team with 3 other NCAA champions. And Mitchell Messenbrink, last year's NCAA runner-up, won a tight match, or did a great job here getting to the finals, and really tough match with David Carr, which he lost. But, you know, his pace and what he's been able to do, and gosh, that match he wrestled last year.
3 takedowns.
Dean Hamady in the Big Ten final.
Yeah, down 9-2 late in the second period, and comes back and wins that match.
Got that late takedown, and that is where that match turned.
Actually got that escape earlier than that because Hamady was dominating him in the top position.
Got the
that
escape and the takedown.
Action.
Yep. So he's very special. His pace that he keeps up there, and just like you said, he's been a terror out there, averaging how many points?
17 per match. 3-time state champion at Arrowhead High School, Heartland, Wisconsin. well documented, same high school as Ben and Max Askren, Keegan O'Toole. Messenbrink last season 26-1, 19 bonus point victories. Tough loss in that final to David Carr, 9-8 on riding time. Another guy, speaking about those world medals. U20 World Silver in 2022.
On the whistle, on the whistle.
U20 World Champion in 2023. And in 2024, World Bronze. Couple of Pan Am Championships to his credit as well. But he is just relentless with his attacks.
Yeah, nice job with that left-handed high crotch there.
Still red.
He's always been working on that wrist snap, you know.
One neutral.
He's really quick with that left-handed collar. See if he comes to it right here, but he's trying to set up there. That left-handed collar. He snaps that collar. It gets that on you so quick.
Center.
Just moving forward, taking territory. You mentioned that Big Ten championship final. He beat Hamady 13-11.
Easy.
Hamady now at Oklahoma State.
Well, you've had an opportunity to meet Mitchell's father. He wrestled in college at Drake University.
He did.
Yeah.
And John Messenbrink, longtime head coach at Heartland Arrowhead.
Center.
Just
Green
such
stalling.
a phenomenal wrestling IQ. Great perspective. One of the great guys I've met in this sport, John Messenbrink. 3 more. Heard Mitchell say once, Jim, and I love this, he chases points like a rat on a Cheeto. Mitchell's face is all orange, just chasing points like a rat on a Cheeto. Love it.
You know, sometimes it doesn't go that well, you know, with the sun and the you know, you don't see this immediate type of success at the college level and all that. But I guess when it does, it really works well. But you know, I don't think John was All-American, but I know he got a lot of good competition in at Drake because they wrestled at just about everybody.
Out of high school, Mitchell began his career at Cal Baptist.
3 takedown. You got takedown.
Messenbrink in short time scores 3 more. He is up by 10. Easy. Riding time over 90 seconds. Mitchell Messenbrink, 10-0. He's wrestled in 8 matches. All Tech Falls. State Farm, a state of success. Mitchell Messenbrink, he has scored 143 points. Make it 156 at this moment.
You got 2 stall calls, Green, on top.
2 stall calls on Niverson. Looks like Mitchell got the fresh cuts.
Yeah, he did.
Not as good of a haircut as our producer Jeff Sermon, but not bad.
Yeah, Sermon brings the facial hair too here to the party, so that big difference.
Action.
Wrist ride right there, and you know.
Green stalling. 1 red.
Another stall call.
1 neutral.
Messenbrink suffocates with that
3
pace.
takedown.
Pouring it on here with 90 seconds
neutral.
left in the second period.
Center.
Angel Rivera, the referee, must have a plane to catch.
I mean, Mitchell Messenbrink, Jim, it's almost like he's got a 3rd lung.
Yeah, I think it's fly-by attempt there by Vincent. I like that, you know, trying to do some wrestling there. Kind of pushing against him. And
clear to see, Jim, Messenbrink not afraid of being tired.
No, that's what's great. It'd be interesting to watch him in that Penn State room, you know, going against some of the elite wrestlers that they have there and what that happens until there's a takedown, 20-5 score.
He actually raised his average with 20 here tonight. His 9th Tech fall. He has scored 163 points in 9 matches wrestled. Improves his record to 11-0. The reigning Big Ten champion raised the roof. The big smile of Mitchell Messenbrink. To another 174 pounds, Levi Haynes, 2-time Big Ten champion. National champion last March down at 157. Jim 8-1. He hasn't missed a beat up to 174.
Oh, he looks fantastic. You know, I think this is a good weight for him. You know, you sit there and take a look at Levi Haines last year. You know, it took him a while to get going at 157 pounds. You know, it just didn't quite look right. And then about the last half of the season when he caught fire in that Iowa meet where he did an excellent job in that match with Michael Franek from Iowa. Did a great job in that match. He really dominated it. Whoops. Little headbutt there.
My time.
Cesar Garza, redshirt sophomore from Oakdale, California, state champion.
I got it.
Coming off his red shirts. He was a starter a couple of years ago as a true freshman. Was over 500. This season, 5th place at the Michigan State Open and the Black Knight Invites. 9-6 is the Spartan.
It's like he caught it right directly in the eye there.
More wrestling tomorrow here on the Big Ten Network. Looking forward to this top 10 matchup with Minnesota and Nebraska in Lincoln. Coverage begins at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. It's right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. I'm looking forward to that match tomorrow. Huge weekend of wrestling here on the Big Ten Network. I like that pregame with Rick Pizzo and Malik Amin.
Yeah, it was really nice. Malik's got a nice little stage presence there, doesn't he? Yep, with the man Rick Pizzo. And I tell you what, our sport is better because Rick Pizzo's taken an interest in it.
Most talented broadcaster I've ever worked with is Rick Pizzo.
Great guy.
So good. Slide by attempt there from Haynes. Rick's a great guy. Back in with another attack. Shin whizzer from Garza.
3 takedown.
What made that work, Jim?
Well, it's just everything that basically he does in that when he gets in the leg, he's just airtight with his finishes. He doesn't really, Haynes doesn't hurry it. He doesn't get in a wild scramble or anything like that. When he gets on it, it's kind of got an anaconda type approach that he just never gives anybody any gaps to be able to go ahead and counter with it. So that's why I think he's so effective. You know, I was talking about this a little bit earlier here, but the back half of his season last year was just excellent. I mean, I think he could have one of the best wrestlers and most dominant wrestlers in the country.
Haynes leading at 3-0 with 1:20 remaining in the first. As enters Sandman by Metallica.
Green.
Playing inside a rec hall. There's a stall call on Garza. As riding time nearing 60 seconds for Haynes. Haynes, a perfect 23-0 a season ago, beat then Sun Devil, now Hawkeye Ja'Cory Teamer 5-0. He's won 2 Big Ten titles, both in sudden victory. 2 years ago against Peyton Robb in Ann Arbor, and then beat Will Luwan at Maryland last March.
Nice job with the claw there. Good job by Garza getting out and escape.
Bonus points for Penn State's 3 falls. Kirkfleet, Vaness, and Kasak, all with pins for Penn State's. As Haynes looking to tack on 3 more inside of 30 seconds.
Look at that finish, okay? He anticipated that roll-through attempt there by Garza here, kept everything solid, and his ankles disappeared. He basically sprawled in that position and covered Garza so well. I mean, he knows how to finish as well as anybody in the country.
Has those wrists. You see Garza in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Head down, his elbows out, but a lot of pressure there from Haynes on top. Couple of takedowns, 6-1 for Haynes. Look at that.
Wow.
The first Friday Night Wrestling. Congratulations, Landon. Welcome to Friday Night Wrestling. I love it.
Wow.
Good stuff right there.
Dad's got some guns on him, doesn't he?
You know what that's called, Jim? That's called winning.
Yeah.
Sitting back with the newborn, raising them right. That's what that is.
Little one's got some good genetics.
1 neutral.
Quick escape from Haynes. Jim, this Penn State team beat second-place Cornell at the national tournament last March by 100 points. 6 in the finals, 4 champs. And this team might be better.
Danger.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. You know,
we're neutral.
it's hard to even comprehend, and it's a lot of I'm sure it's a lot of pressure that Cale Sanderson doesn't want to think about, as far as are we better than,
Easy.
It's getting to the point if if they're so far ahead of the competition, you start comparing yourself to previous Penn State teams, You save that till you're, 30 years from now, So when all the old guys get together.
Easy.
K-Sack crashes the hips down on that shot from Garza, gets the go behind. And now he's looking bow and arrow, slides into half Nelson.
Trying to make a big step with that left foot, but now he gets the hips turned. There it is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So watch you step back away. Now he's turning around to scoop up on the bottom. Now he's going to pinch that. So see how he pinched his bicep on there? He got rid of the bow and arrow. He kept the ankle, all right? Came across there, pinched that tricep basically against the man's chest. Great way of pinning a guy.
Another fall for the Nittany Lions. Levi Haynes predict this storm.
You've heard me. We obviously sat side by side, watched a lot of his matches, but I really believe he's one of the most competitive guys, all right, that we've seen here, all right? And Boucher's in a great position to be able to go ahead and score on him here.
Ryan Boucher out of Lake Oswego, Oregon, Lake Ridge High School. This is the first dual meet of his career. First dual meet of his career. Here's a four-time national champion in Rec Hall.
And bless his heart.
And all of his matches, Jim, up to this season, he's 5 and 6, have been down at 174. Go get it, kid.
Yeah. Fingers.
Well,
it's an opportunity. Go and compete.
And he's taken the opportunity. He's basically, he's going to get whipped over there. Didn't give up back points or anything like that. And you can tell he's not quite a powerful. Well, anybody compared to Starachi, he's not going to look very powerful out there. But I like the fact that he went out there and took a couple shots.
Starachi looking for a tilt there on the edge inside of 2 minutes in this first period. Makes the adjustment, rolls through to the opposite side.
3, 4.
That's exactly what he did there, Shane. He understood. Shea was basically sitting there trying to get off the mat as opposed to battling the position like you're in the middle, and it created an opportunity here for him to go the other direction and get the tilt.
Carter Starachi, of course, did not wrestle at the Big Tens last March. Those counted as losses, but in contested matches, he has won 78 straight. 6 of those wins, and this speaks to what you commented on, Jim, and how competitive he is. 6 of those matches in overtime.
Yeah, just truly one of the more competitive guys we've had in the sport in the last 20, 25 years.
Him and teammate Aaron Brooks capturing their 4th last March. 7 have won 4 individual national titles. Starachi looking to become the first D1 wrestler to win 5.
We did that first big match he did against Michigan where I can't remember who he was going.
It was Valentine's Day of 2021. I remember it well. It was against Logan Massa of Michigan. Yeah. It was 1-1, and then he put Massa on his back, and he won 7-1, and he fought out of so many tough positions.
Yeah,
kept himself in the match.
Kept himself in the match just by sheer competitiveness, and then had an opportunity to go ahead and get out quickly in overtime. Was able to go ahead and do that. But that's when this guy just stood out to me and go, boy, this guy's got a competitive
spirit.
He's just
tough. Doesn't give an inch.
As Logan Massa, darn good wrestler. And
All-American.
Heavily favored probably going into that match, but we didn't know what we found out. Starachi
is yet to give up a takedown this season. He's only given up a couple of takedowns in the last couple of seasons.
It's amazing.
I believe it was Andrew Sparks in Minnesota that got him at the national tournament last year. And then what does he do, Jim? He beats Makai Lewis, a national champ in the quarters. Shane Griffith, a national champ in the semis. And then he beats Rocco Welsh of Ohio State. It's been just a remarkable career for Carter Starachi.
Green, your choice, Green.
Danny Bronigal and Carson Hartzler
First, red choice.
in Champaign.
Red down.
Beginning of the third period, the Buckeye up 7-5.
Red,
And
green,
Hartzler
you got
starting
one
period
foul call,
on
green.
bottom.
Set red on top, green.
High-scoring match for those two guys.
Set.
Good dual meet with Ohio State and Illinois, of course.
One
that
neutral.
action on Big Ten Plus.
Fingers, gentlemen, fingers.
Ohio State's ranked 4th in the dual meet rankings. The Fighting Illini ranked 10th. Good start to the season for Mike Poeta in Illinois.
Advantage position here for Starace, but I just like how Boucher's just tried to stayed in position.
Action, neutral.
Didn't get spun around quickly, didn't get whipped over. And I'm trying to look for things for Michigan State to build on here, but this performance might be one of them, just going out there and just battling. There, takes a shot. Saw a lot of guys out there that had opportunity to shoot but didn't do it. Comes back in, tries to fight.
Takedown.
This is going to end in a tech fall, but, at least we got a guy out here battling.
11-0 now inside of a minute in the second period. Penn State with the win tonight, 63 straight.
One neutral.
Since the start,
Center.
Jim, of the 2015-2016 season, with the dual meet win tonight, 128-2 overall, 75-1 in the Big Ten.
Set.
They're good.
75-1 in the Big Ten.
Forget it, Shane. They're good.
It's just not that easy.
No, it really isn't, and that's what's the amazing thing about it. That's really well put there. It's not that easy, and it seems the other part of this is that
One green. Red, full Nelson.
full Nelson.
Sorry. Red, illegal headlock. You're down. Illegal headlock. You had no arm encircled. You're down. Illegal headlock.
Illegal headlock. You hear Angel Rivera.
Let's go. On top. Set.
I didn't see the position. That wasn't focusing on that, but
Green choice.
so
Green, down.
he's trying to dig it out and grabs around the head. I guess you don't have the arm in that position, and
Set.
that's
On
what
top.
Angel called there. Big fan of being able to just turn the face right there. If you can turn the guy's face over, you don't really have to, lock hands right there. But
Doubleheader tonight. More wrestling tomorrow with Minnesota and Nebraska.
Easy, easy.
And then, of course, on Sunday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
2, 3.
that's tight.
Another top 20
4.
matchup coming on Sunday. Is Starace looking for the pin? That'll be Rutgers and Ohio State. Starace looking to put a cherry on top, but Boucher fighting as hard as he can. Still over a minute 20 left in the period. As Starace looking for his 5th pin of the season. Can he get it?
Well, I was going to say, when you stop and have a conversation with the official, you're probably not going to get that call right away.
Carter Starace, 10-0, all bonus point victories for the 4-time national champion out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Outstanding wrestler. Final match in this dual meet. Josh Barr, ranked 4th in the country, the redshirt freshman from Davison, Michigan. And Corey Thomas, a true freshman, another Michigan native, wrestled at Pontiac High School. All of his matches have been down at 184. First dual meets of his career as well, Corey Thomas. And this Josh Barr, Jim, really came onto the scene when he beat former Nittany Lion Michael Beard, now at Lehigh, 11-3, the major decision, and a 4-1 win in sudden victory over Arkansas Little Rock All-American Stephen Little. This guy has shown up.
Yeah, he really has. And I tell you what, if you at 97-pound weight class, I mean, he's just full of bears. You know that. This was the guy I was looking forward to watching, because that's going to be a real difficult weight class to wrestle. But this is what I'm seeing out there. His commitment and basically shooting off both legs right there, driving in and just diving in on the shots, and just total commitment when he goes after something, is totally committed. And, you know, Thomas, I think he weighed in at 187 pounds, you know, probably more, obviously a natural
84 pounder.
Yep. So,
yeah, Thomas, Michigan State Open runner-up in the freshman-sophomore division. He was sixth at the Black Knight Invites, and 3-2 at the Midlands.
Yeah.
And just a true freshman.
Yeah, just getting started. But they're both getting started, and one's starting from a higher high.
Josh Barr with that takedown in dual meets has now scored 17 takedowns. He's yet to allow one. A couple of times he has garnered Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors. He was 15-0 last season as a true freshman, as a redshirt. Did wrestle one duel against Indiana. We've been saying it for a long time, Jim. At Penn State, they don't rebuild, they just reload.
Yeah, Barr's got a nice wing working here. Nice job by Thomas, basically keeping his hip down right there, but Barr coming over the top, going to make one more run. Nice job by Thomas fighting that off. I mean,
action!
You say the official calling for action right there. I mean, you know, there's really not much the guy can do from that situation, and he got the slight advantage. He brought his hips up. You know, that's competing, and that's wrestling.
But Barr sinks that in a little bit deeper. Now he's got Thomas flat.
Now he's going to work, you know, from his feet a little bit more, which is kind of
one neutral. Center it. Center.
Like to see.
Out of bounds.
Josh Barr, four-time Michigan State champion. He was 125-1 in high school. His only loss was to Detroit Catholic Central's Manny Rojas, 3-2. Rojas now wrestling at Iowa State. 2024 U20 World Silver medalist, another world medalist for Penn State. 30 seconds left as Barr gets his second takedown. Slides that arm bar in once again.
Yeah,
gets off to the side and runs it. 4. Penn State's looking for yet another fall. We're short time in the first. A cap on their 63rd straight dual meet victory. Penn State gets a fall from Josh Barr. A dominant night inside a rec hall.
Well, we've been talking about this all night. You're going right into the pinning combination.
அடிக்கான் கொன்னுட்டான் காயின் எடுத்து விடுங்க கைஸ். இல்லை நீங்கள் ஒரு காயின் எடுத்து விடு, நான் ஒரு காயின் எடுத்து விட்டா. ஐயோ உங்கள் காயின் இருக்கா? இல்லை. ஆமா டேய் நான் இவர் ஆட்டே விட வரார்ல ப்ரோ அது எனக்கு ப்ரோ என்ன சிப்பு இருக்கியா சிப்பு ஒன்றா கிளம்பு என்ன பதுங்கி ஓடுறான்டா பதுங்கி ஆனால் வாராமல இப்போ தான் நடந்து